Hello, this is Victor at RestoreYourMercedes.com. This video is for Anthony in Texas, and this is SL500 throttle body, and here it is on the bench test. Now, Anthony, so you know how your unit looked. I think this is your original job, or whoever did that. Very poorly done. So I had to replace the board, and I had to use my last connector because yours is all messed up. I mean, I don't know if it's going to survive if I'm going to open this up. So I used another untouched connector, put it up, entry point replaced because yours was bad, the electrical board to potentiometer, and this unit was disassembled completely to bare bones, down to potentiometer, down to brains, all cleaned up, tested out, checked, and obviously reassembled and tested on the bench for about 2 days now. So that's a very, very long test, because I could get it to go into limp before. Now it does not go into limp mode the same way as it used to. So I'm pretty confident that at this point the unit is operational and it's going to work just fine. So before, I would just move the lever just like this a couple of times and it would go into limp mode. Sometimes I would open it halfway and goes into limp mode. So there was clearly a problem here, and now it's been on the bench for 2 days and it works just fine. Never shut off 2 days straight, so which is a really good, very good record. The plate realigned, cleaned up, lubricated. It was an extensive job on this unit, but because of low mileage, it is totally a keeper, because internally it has minimal wear. Very nice unit, so you do want this one. The gasket is still attached, and I would leave it, I guess, because it feels pretty good to me. It's already kind of glued on to the throttle. A little separation, as you can see right here, but still, yeah, to be honest, if it would have been my throttle body, I would leave this gasket on because it looks very thick and it feels thick, so it's not squashed or compressed. If you want to replace it, that's just fine. It's like a couple of dollars for the gasket, so there's no problem here. Now let's look at the readings, what we see here with the computer. The readings, 4.24 on top, the usual 0.52, that's also within the specification. And this goes up to 0.6, down to 0.4, so we're like right in the middle, which is really good. The problem that I had with this unit was something wrong with the micro switch. One of them, it would not reactivate, and I actually caught it with the computer. I saw that the micro switch was not switching over, it would just stay in on position. I believe it was S2, I don't remember already, it's been a few days. So, but you see they jump, but that's the software. That's because if the micro switch would have jumped right now, throttle would shut off. But the thing is, in case where the throttle was going into limp, they would both remain, and it would not just, you see, sometimes it jumps on off, but then it will return to the proper location. In your case, it was just staying on, it would not go to off. So I knew that the micro switch circuit was bad. So this is where we need to be. We need to have our voltages to change within specifications, and we are well within specifications. Micro switches supposed to be off on when throttle is open. Like I said, don't mind a jump, they all jump. And when you close the throttle, they're supposed to change to on off. So one of the switches, like I said before, was not doing so. So right now, and the second you would see the micro switch saying on, for example, then a second later throttle would shut off. In our case, it works just fine right now. And you can see on my other videos where you can see these readings jump. I always put that note into video just to explain that that is the software. It's not the throttle's problem. Because if there would have been something wrong with throttle, we would have already gotten this to shut off. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the result here. Again, it was a lot of work, but it was well worth to resurrect this particular throttle because of its internal condition and mileage. And basically off it goes. I mean, it's all finished and ready to go. So I'll give you a call later on today, actually, and then we can do finances and I can mail it back to you. Okay, so this is all for now. This is Victor. Well, by the way, one more last thing, just to show that the unit has been energized for, well, I actually had to take it off the bench to do a final cleanup, remove covers. As you can see, it's 100 whatnot, cold units, as you can see, 70 something. So it's been working. Usually I get these units to go as high as like 110. It will get there by the time I do all the paperwork and all. It'll get there, being on the bench energized. But again, it's been on the bench for 2 days and operational just fine. The throttle lever itself moves extremely fluid, nice and smooth, no binding and no sticking, which is also important. Throttle plate is realigned, everything is fine, no binding or touching the outer case, because that's also very precise. There is really very little space, you know, the lining of this plate is very important as well, so it's not that easy. So that's basically going to cover it. I mean, I know it's a little longer video than I usually do, but this unit had a lot of issues, so therefore I made this long introduction video. Alright, so this is all for now. This is Victor at RestoreYourMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.